Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP's hopes of having a second Scottish referendum are slowly fading away as they get desperate, get in touch with the Supreme Court directly with a very, very awkward letter. Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. So let's talk about the SNP for a bit because we haven't done it in, 10 minutes. They are the true attention seekers of this union with about 30-40% of the mandate that they have, and they're very upset with saying that we represent the whole of Scotland. We basically, every single person in Scotland wants to leave the UK. Every single person in Scotland wants to join the European Union. Every single person in Scotland wants to deport the English. That's more likely. Jokes aside, they've said that they want to have a referendum next October, next year. And they say, well, we're going to do it anyway. We don't need permission. So they decided to get the advice from the legal teams and the Supreme Court and say, well, if we have it, can we basically force Westminster's hands? The problem here for Nicola Sturgeon is that everything's going to be advisory anyway. Like, even if Westminster give you permission to do your referendum, it will be an advisory referendum. So they thought, if they send a letter, get in touch with the Supreme Court and the judges, they could say this. They could say, well, the applicants regard it, the referendum idea, of fundamental importance to these proceedings, that it be recognized that the holding of a referendum, such as that which is being proposed, does not of itself implement the result or the outcome of that referendum. So essentially, they're saying, by the way, I know that you guys don't want to give us the permission to actually do, at legal level, the referendum. We just want to clarify, we just want to let you know, reassure you, that even if we win the referendum, it doesn't actually force the UK government to give us the exit. One, we already knew that. It's an act of parliament that has to actually implement it. Two, you do realize you're losing already. You're losing the argument. If you're saying that, you know you're not going to get the referendum. That's why you're saying this. And it's absolutely embarrassing what's going on out there, because you got half of Scotland who don't want to listen to Nicola Sturgeon. They don't want her to represent them, but they have to, because that's just how the electoral system works. So you wonder why, when Liz Truss, Tory leadership candidate, and when she was asked about Nicola Sturgeon's demands, she directly said, well, we're going to have to ignore her because she's an attention seeker. And there's a point to it. Let's get into it first.
I feel like I'm a child of the union, that I really believe we are a family and we're better together. And I think the best thing to do with Nicola Sturgeon is ignore her. I think she's...
bit difficult when she's First Minister, though. She's got a democratically elected position, just as you would.
I'm sorry, she's an attention seeker, Seb. That's what she is. And what we need to do...
So there is a point to it. So she got a lot of criticism, Liz Truss, for saying that. Some lefties were like, oh, well, how dare you say that? You know, are you saying that the number 10 Downing Street would ignore the democratically elected and with the mandate SNP government in Scotland, Holyrood? No, that's not how it works on a constitutional level. But what Liz should have clarified, she should have said, well, yeah, we need to ignore Nicola Sturgeon and her crybaby behaviour. That's different. You can't ignore Nicola Sturgeon. It's not the same as number 10 Downing Street ignoring the SNP government. That's a whole different level. That's a constitutional relationship that exists based on, obviously, the union. But if Nicola Sturgeon comes out crying on TV as usual, then yeah, ignore her. She's the attention seeker. But I wanted the team Liz Truss to actually come out strongly to actually say that. But obviously she got the applause that night. She got the attention, ironically, no pun intended. But it is what it is. So we are going to come back actually tell you more about other problems in this country that we report on a regular basis on this channel, including in half an hour I'm going to come back to talk about the invasion of our country and our borders, or lack of borders, that's going on in Dover and Kent. We had the highest number of illegal migrants entering in one day. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.